is a special edition of the This is a special edition of the Cultural Connections podcast, the 2020 election. Join us this evening as we digest the election results, analyze the data, and make some bold predictions. This is the Cultural Connections podcast, 2020 election edition.
And good morning. It's a little after 10:30 in the morning here on the Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast of the United States. My name is Brian Ives, and I am the producer of the Cultural Connections podcast. We're coming back on here live because we have a lot of information coming in with more new up-to-date information on the election, and we wanted to bring you up to speed on everything. Before I get to that information, I want to remind our viewers that we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. For our users that are live with joining us via Facebook, Twitter, or Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, please be aware that your live that you are watching is through Zoom. Our other users through Instagram are watching directly through the Instagram platform. That's why you see me holding my phone in my hand. If you would like to interact with us during the live video, you may do so on any of the platforms. But if you want me to respond during the live video, please go over to Instagram, to Cultural Connections 29, and watch the live video on Instagram, as we will be able to interact with you easiest over there. If you leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, we will still respond to them, but they will be after the live video this live video is finished, and will be answered in the next live video. So do keep that in mind. All right. Without further ado, let's get into the results that we have as of right now. I'm just going to get organized here to share my screen here. So bear with me and for just a moment. And you are seeing me here on, let's go here. Oops, I didn't mean that. I want to pull the map up big. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen now so you can see exactly what we're looking at here. This is NBC News here. As you might have seen earlier, we are now showing you that Joe Biden is ahead in the state of Pennsylvania. He is now leading with 3,297,614 votes to President Trump's 3,290,788,000. So what exactly does that mean? Where does it put the difference between these two candidates? How many votes separate them? Again, now with Joe Biden in the lead. What also happens from there, all of that in just a minute. But first, let's do the math to show you exactly how many votes differentiate these two candidates, these two men. And what that means, it's time to do the long math, which you get to see on Instagram if you're live with us over here. Okay, so to our Instagram users, are you ready to see the math? Are you ready? Anyone want to take a guess here on Instagram on what the number is? Did you guess 6,826? If so, you are correct. Right now, Joe Biden leads in Pennsylvania by 6,826 votes. We are at 95% of the vote in with 326,149 votes right now. Now, what does this mean? what we're looking at, the fact here is that in Pennsylvania, a lot of the vote coming in and the remaining vote to be counted is the mail-in vote, and those early voters. That is predominantly Democrat in these Democrat counties here that we see. Chester County, with Vice President Biden leading significantly there. In Montgomery County, another significant county. Bucks County, Lehigh County, all of this, and this is continuing to grow. Monroe County, Lackawanna County, Dauphin County, where Biden has continued to take an advantage lead there. Center County, towards the center of Pennsylvania, Joe Biden is continuing to edge up his lead over there. Pittsburgh County, which is Allegheny County, which is where Pittsburgh is. Erie County, as you can see here. So again, we're continuing really to see what these counties show of Biden in the lead. It can be easily looked at here, and again, we're awaiting an official projection, because again, as we look at this here right now, and I'm going to go back to the nationwide map, we go over to Georgia, where Biden is also in the lead with 2,450,000 votes, 2,450,117 to President Trump's 2,448,538 votes. Again, no one officially, to my understanding, has called this race, exception 70towin.com, and I don't want Siri coming on. 70towin.com, and I'm going to just show you this here so you can look at the information that we are independently able to verify. That we are not able to fully verify this yet, but they have called the race for Joe Biden. Again, Joe Biden continuing to increase his lead here. They have even more votes here for Joe Biden than what we are looking at on the media outlets. The media outlets do verify on their own the votes first before they get them certified. These are not probably certified votes yet that we're looking at. We're just awaiting that. And assuming that they are, which likely they are, then we'll be able to call the state of Pennsylvania right now. 3,297,660 votes for Joe Biden are in Pennsylvania. And again, that lead is only growing there. Joe Biden is increasing his lead here in Pennsylvania. We believe we'll be seeing a projection coming out of Pennsylvania at any time. I'm going to just check on the other outlets here so you can see. I'm looking at CNN next, then I'm going to go to the Associated Press. And I'm just awaiting on our, excuse me for a second. Okay, sorry. And let's go here to the national map here. And again, we're looking at the fact here, neither has CNN called the race yet, but they also are seeing the same number that I just looked at, the 3,297,614 in Pennsylvania. We're also expecting new numbers coming in within the hour from Arizona and Nevada, where Biden is also leading in those states, a narrow lead in Arizona, but is leading in the state of Arizona. So again, we're going to just keep an eye on that, but we're watching that. And we do already have our own projection that Biden has won the state of Arizona, as the Associated Press and Fox News has called. I am going to continue to show you information here. Let's go now to Fox News to show you what they're showing here. Again, they have not called yet either for the state of, they have called the state of Arizona, as you know, but again, here in Pennsylvania, they have not called the race yet either. Again, the numbers that I just showed you here on this site, 270 to win, there are more votes here. It means that they're not fully verified yet, and that's what we're just officially waiting on. Assuming that, again, this trend is continuing, which it is appearing to, then we'll be able to call the state in Pennsylvania for Vice President Biden, and that would put him over the edge of 270 to win this election. So again, we're going to keep an eye on this. The next thing here, obviously, let's go over now. I'm going to show you the Associated AP News 2020 election. I'm going to show you here the Associated Press. I need to pull up the map, though. Here we go. And again, as far as I understand it, the Associated Press has not called the state of Pennsylvania yet either for Joe Biden. But again, similar line here. They're also at the same vote count right now at 600. And at the same, everyone now on the media outlets are matching with the same vote count that we are seeing here. So we're just waiting on that information. Another source here I want to bring in forth to you is ABC News, and then we're going to do CBS News as well, and that will bring you into all of the results that we have so far coming in from all of the different media outlets. I like to give you a spread here just so you understand that this is not just me bringing in you this information. This is also coming in from the media outlets. ABC News with the same number here that you have seen the rest of the media outlets coming in with. And lastly, we're going to show you CBS News right now and their verification here as well. And I'm going to try to pull up their map if I can find where we are. Let's see here. Again, their map here, again, showing Pennsylvania with, again, the same thing. As of 18 minutes ago, 95% of the vote in right now. And this is what we are seeing. We are seeing Biden's lead again at a 6,000. Biden now has over 6,826 votes more than Donald Trump. So again, we are continuing to watch that very closely. We do believe from what we are seeing here, and we are now seeing here as well that it appears we are watching here as again the results coming in from Arizona, which as have not been updated yet today. In Georgia, they were updated as well 10 minutes ago. We're awaiting to see if there are more numbers that come in, but right now Joe Biden's lead is also increasing in the state of Georgia. In Nevada, we are awaiting again new numbers. Those have not come in yet either. We're awaiting those, but again, we expect that to remain in the Democratic threshold because again, the votes being counted are primarily Democratic votes. So again, let's just go through all of this. I want to keep updating you on the information on what I am seeing here. And again, this is the latest numbers here. Now we're up to 600, and this is again not fully verified information, but this is what once the media networks verify, they take the number and they update it. And right now we're seeing Joe Biden's lead continuing to increase. He now has 49.5% of the vote in Pennsylvania to Donald Trump's 49.4% of the vote in Pennsylvania. So again, we're just watching this. These are real-time numbers coming into us that we're watching directly from Pennsylvania. These are directly coming in bit by bit, and that's why we're seeing the number go up. Whereas the media outlets, I want to reiterate what I've just said, that the media outlets do not exactly go by the same exact logic. They verify these results first before putting them onto air. We are showing this to you because we want you to see them, see everything all at once that's coming through. This is a verifiable website, but they also do real-time counting. This is live counting as the numbers come in. So that's why I'm trying to make sure people understand here. Let's again take a look at Georgia here, because again, this is real-time numbers coming in here as well. And you can see here that Vice President Biden has 2,450,117 votes to Donald Trump's 2,448,538. Again, Joe Biden's lead extending here too. But if I am to go over to a site, let's say like CNN right now, for example, you're going to see a different number. And again, that's because, as I just explained to you, they are verifying these numbers as they come in. These are numbers that are getting verified. So like, for example, here with CBS News, which has an update here on as of 12 minutes ago, that's when they updated their numbers last, as of 12 minutes ago. So if I pull back here to this site here, and that is Pennsylvania, if I pull back over here to Georgia, you're going to see they have also, it looks like, have the same number now here that we are seeing. So some of the sites have it, some of the sites don't. I mean, that's not, and most of them up here now to have the same numbers here for Biden here in Georgia. We're not seeing that yet for Pennsylvania, because I think we're still waiting on these numbers. So again, technically put here, if I go by what I am, which is actually what I am seeing here in Pennsylvania, and I'm going to do math again here for you one more time, then Biden is up even further. I'm going to add in 660 votes to that 6,826. We're going to add an additional 660, and I'll just tell you what that gets us to. Okay, so now if we go with this number, this is what we're looking at here on Instagram here. You can see there. 7,486 votes now is where Joe Biden is leading by in Pennsylvania. The number increasing. Again, I can't emphasize enough to what I'm looking at here. These are real-time numbers, but they are getting verified by these media outlets before they put them to air. They are likely confirmed numbers, but you always want to verify the numbers before they do go live out onto national television, and that's what we're looking at here. And really, I mean, so we're watching again as these are real-time numbers coming in bit by bit from Pennsylvania. That is the thing to watch here. I'm going to just continue to show you these numbers here because none of these networks are calling are still at the original number there that they have not updated to seeing these. And again, this is not to say they don't have it. It's to say that everyone is verifying the information that they are making. Sorry about that on Instagram. I got to get my phone plugged in here. The information is being verified. I can't emphasize this enough that the information is getting verified right now. That's why we don't know fully yet, but we are making the expectation here of what we're seeing. And again, with 99% of the vote here in Georgia, with that we can see here again. Let's just see here how many votes are remaining. Do I have NBC News up? I do not. I do have NBC News here for Georgia. In Georgia, well, let's see here. We're at 99% of the vote left with 64,128 votes. And Vice President Biden with that lead of 2,450,000. I'm going to switch my camera over to me here. And that's not happening. Okay. And I want to just do some math here for you. So bear with me for a second. And then we can tell you exactly what's going on here too in Pennsylvania. So again, it's time to do some math. Okay, so what I can tell you here is if I did my math correctly, Joe Biden is now leading in the state of Pennsylvania by 2,000. I don't know why this is weird that this comes now through backwards here when I hold it, but when I actually show you on the other camera, which is bizarre to me, I don't know why that is. But Joe Biden is leading in the state of Georgia right now by 2,779 2,779 votes. So again, that's still close. But if we look at the way these numbers are going, Joe Biden is leading in these big counties, which is what's putting him over the edge. And again, the remaining votes are these mail-in votes that need to be counted. So that's what we're looking at. And again, you have a total remaining of 64,000 votes. Joe Biden's leading by 2,779 votes. Yeah, it could still go either direction, but the likelihood is what we're looking at is that what we're seeing by these numbers, that it probably isn't going to happen that way. Let's go back to Pennsylvania for a minute on 270towin.com just to see if there's any additional new numbers. There are not. I'm just checking all these other sources here with you as we're live, and I'm hopeful this time you're also on Instagram that we don't get cut off in the end of our live, because apparently I didn't know Instagram actually does time you on all of this information. So that's news to me that they don't let you go over an hour on a live video. But again, this is what we're seeing here. We're looking here at Pennsylvania, and we're watching these same counties that are much more blue now, and where the votes are coming in. Let's go over to CBS News because that's where we know where they have numbers that are updated regularly. As of 18 minutes ago, it is the number that I just brought to you, correct? Yes, okay. In Pennsylvania, the numbers were just updated as of 27 minutes ago. They have not updated these numbers yet. In Arizona, we're still waiting on Arizona and Nevada to provide us new numbers. We are expecting that again within the hour. So again, as soon as we have them, they'll be brought to you live right here on the net on live here on Cultural Connection. So stay with us with that. But again, the only thing that I can only keep repeating to you with this is that we are still awaiting more results to come in. We expect the results to stay the way they are. If Pennsylvania does, that will put Joe Biden over the top. Let's just show you another way that I can do this for you is if we, and again, this is currently showing just so you understand, they have already projected here on 270 to win that Joe Biden has won the state of Pennsylvania, which would put Biden over the edge for winning the presidential election. I want to show you here my electoral college map that I have been using to simulate things here. And I want to do that and just update things to where they stand that we know, obviously, because this is not fully updated. So bear with me for just a moment. We're going to put this where things currently stand. Okay. All right. And all right. So, and hold on. Sorry, folks. Give me just a moment. I want to. Oh. Okay. So this is where things currently stand with this map. Of where this doesn't. Still, because me needs to be. Okay, this is where things currently stand with this. This is not still. Oh my goodness, this map is not operating the way that it should. So if let's say here that Biden takes the state of Pennsylvania, there's something here with this map that is inaccurate, which is driving me. We'll do this again. We're going to put Michigan here, Wisconsin here. We're putting Iowa here. We're putting New Hampshire here. We're putting Maine's 2nd district here. We're putting the state of Maine here. We are putting South Carolina like that. We are putting Florida like that. Texas like that. Kansas like that. Sorry, folks, just a moment to catch me up here. Okay. Now, if we, that's probably why. Oops. That. Okay, there. Okay, now I think if we do this correctly, we shall see things here properly. So let's say if we give Joe Biden the state of Pennsylvania, he goes over 270 automatically. But let's keep that outstanding just for the moment. If Joe Biden wins the state of Nevada, which likely he will, that gets him to 264, and then Arizona, he gets over to 270 easily there too. So that's another path to victory. Now, what happens, let's say, if President Trump, as I continue to show you these simulators, takes the state of Arizona, and let's say President Trump takes the state of Pennsylvania too. Let's just say, again, it's looking unlikely at this point, but let's say that happens. We know he'll also take the state of North Carolina, most likely, so we'll give that to him. We can give him the state of Alaska as well. And let me just fix this here so that this is completely blue here. Okay. So let's say here now that if we look at this, and I'm going to switch this back so you're seeing it correctly here on Instagram. Let's give Georgia to Joe Biden. What happens? Joe Biden still wins the election, even if he takes Nevada and Georgia, because he still has enough votes there that get him over the edge. Now, what happens, though, is if President Trump takes Nevada, again, something highly doubtful, but still you would see here from what it appears that Joe Biden would win the election with Nevada. If Joe Biden does not take any of these states, and you see that we give Georgia to right now to Trump, then you see what appears to be that Trump would win the election if that happens. Again, it looks unlikely at this point in time, but again, we can't rule anything out. So right now, this is what I think is going to happen. I'm going to switch this to what I think is going to happen. This is what I am expecting. I believe this is my prediction. Taking Nevada for Joe Biden, Arizona for Joe Biden, Georgia for Joe Biden, and Pennsylvania for Joe Biden, giving Joe Biden a 312 electoral votes to President Trump's 226 electoral votes. Again, I want to just jump back here to see if there's any additional numbers that have come in. We are not seeing it appears yet. There are not any new numbers that have come in since I last did my numbers for you. And again, I want to go back over here to our main simulator here, which is the road to 270.com. They also have not had any new numbers come in yet. CBS News, another source that we have been looking at because they actually update when they last did an update. And again, they do not have any new information in Georgia. 25 minutes ago was our last update. We're awaiting those numbers from Arizona. Those have not come in yet, and we're waiting on new numbers from Nevada. And again, those have not come in yet. So we're continuing to watch all of this extremely, extremely closely as we continue to watch this race. The media outlets are not ready to make that projection just yet. We are awaiting to see this entirely, what entirely goes on here. And that is something we're continuing to closely watch here. Again, with we're looking at the Associated Press. They now have Joe Biden at 600. They added 4 more votes to Joe Biden's column there in Pennsylvania. They are continuing to verify that, so they have added an additional 4. Again, that is not adding up, obviously, to what we are seeing over here at the 660 mark there. Again, assuming this all continues to hold forth, we would be seeing Vice President Biden become the president-elect. We're going to continue, obviously, to monitor all of this. We're going to come back on live once we know there is more information on exactly once these votes are verified. We will jump back on your live immediately. For now, I'm going to end this live video. I wanted just to come on here again, but we'll be live again probably in about half an hour between 11:30, 12 o'clock. Once we have the new vote numbers coming in from Arizona and Nevada, we will bring them to you live. For now, stay with Cultural Connections, your election 2020 headquarters. Sorry, did not mean to. As we continue to bring you the latest results here in the 2020 presidential election.
This is a special edition of the Cultural Connections podcast, the 2020 election. Join us this evening as we digest the election results, analyze the data, and make some bold predictions. This is the Cultural Connections podcast, 2020 election edition.